our topic conferences before. We are part of Leicestershire County Council. We are also funded by the Leicester City Council as well. We help with recruitment and retention for the external care providers, and you do not have to be contracted with either council to attend, just be providing care within Leicester and Leicestershire. I'm David Priest. I'm in charge of all the marketing, and I deal with mainly the city providers. So if at any point in the future you need any support with your recruitment or retention, please feel free to get in contact with me. So today we have our topic conference on social media, and we have Catherine George with us from Oso Social. Pretty much what's going to happen today is Catherine's going to do the entire session. Then at the end, I will jump on and we'll do a quick Mentimeter to see how we can support you in the future. So I'm going to disappear into the background, Catherine, and give it all over to you. And if you need me for anything, just give me a shout. I'll be here.
Lovely. Thank you so much. Thank you, David. And hi, everyone. Good morning. Julie, I love the colour behind you. Just got to tell you. So hi, everyone. We've got a lot to cover today. I've tried to make the deck as useful as humanly possible. So hopefully we'll go along together and we'll learn some stuff. If you have any questions as you go, please put them in the chat or make a note of them. I will answer them all at the end. I can't read and keep my train of thought at the same time, so I pick them up at the end. But any question, honestly, please ask. I heard them all before, and it's important that you ask. So let's start. So let's begin with the awkward introduction. Who am I? My name is Catherine George, and I help businesses and brands of all shapes and sizes from all over the world get tangible results from their social media marketing. I do this in two different ways. I own Oso Social. We are an international multi-award winning social media marketing agency. Try saying that after you've had a few drinks. And we cover all realms of social, from organic to strategy to paid performance advertising. I then have a sister company called Oso Savvy, where these slides will be available for free, and it's packed full of a lot of other free training resources at the end. I'm a Meta Blueprint lead trainer. I'm a Meta certified ads buyer, planning professional, content creator. I'm a Pinterest media planner, Meta agency partner, Pinterest agency partner, TikTok agency partner. So hopefully I know what I'm talking about. So let's jump in. There's lots to cover. And hopefully we can all learn something together. Now, I'm just going to give you a slight caveat of I think I'm funny. And I know that you guys can't see me, you might not be able to see me, and we all can't see each other, but I do appreciate sympathy laughs. So just your early warning. So I'm going to start by taking you right back to the basics. And actually, why do businesses use social media? And I do so much training and so many events, and I say to people, why are you using social? And the answers I normally get range from, oh, well, so-and-so in the pub told me I needed to do it. Or everyone's told me I need a Facebook or an Instagram. But when you dig down into it, people don't really understand why you are using it. So let's look at those reasons, because it's so fundamentally important to understand them to be able to use the platforms well. So the first reason is to build relationships and engage. Everyone thinks that social media is about selling or hard recruitment or bringing in more service users, but actually it's about building relationships and engaging with your potential audience. It's about bringing people together. It's called social media, not sales media. It's about building a brand. So it's a true analogy that small businesses can become big businesses with social media. But what is more important for us is we can use it to build a brand in our locality. We can use it to build a brand as an authority in a subject matter. We can use it to build a brand that reflects our public opinion. So if we know that we need to reach out to a specific group of individuals within an area, and we need them to build trust in us, we need them to feel like we are going to look after them and we are going to support them, which is what we are all doing. We are in care. social media is a great place to control and work with that public opinion. And that's done by what content you are using. It can also be a great place, and it is a strong place to support all of your marketing efforts. So many people keep social in this weird little avenue by itself, when really, if you were doing any other form of marketing, so if you were doing email, if you have a website, if you run a local piece in a local paper or a local magazine, don't forget to talk about this on your social, because what you're doing is using that additional elements to support each other. So you're looking to get more people on your mailing list. You're looking to get more people to your website, or you're looking to build your brand and your public opinion as an authority. Look, we know what we're doing. We have a regular feature, or we have been mentioned in this publication. Treat your social as a spoke in a wheel. It is there to support and amplify everything. And the final and most important reason is sales and action. And I know for people on this call, when I say sales, everyone's going to go, oh, well, is that e-commerce? And no, think of it as how you make that transaction, how you bring in more service users, or from an action point of view, how you recruit more. It's fundamental that within your social and your social content, you tell people this is how you work with us. This is how we work with you. This is how we can support you. Because so many people skirt around this all the time, but it is the reason we are on social media. It's why we're putting all this effort and time and energy in to get a transactional action at the end of the day. Because we need to be aware that the way people shop, the way people make purchasing decisions, the way people make life decisions have changed. So this is a piece of marketing terminology called a sales funnel, and it's how you bring people from awareness to action. But this funnel works across absolutely everything. It's a decision metric. So originally someone might see about you in print, they then might Google you, a Google ad might pick them up, they join the website, and then maybe they sign up to a mailing list, or they take some form of action, whether that be to contact you about service use, or they like the look of you, they're interested in you, they want to become part of your team. Social media really muddies this because we are engaging with people throughout this journey. We're engaging with those who haven't heard of us. Maybe they haven't needed our services yet. They're just not aware of us yet. Maybe they're new to the area. But we're also engaging with people who are further down this funnel and they are nearly ready to take action. So it's really important when we are creating our content, and I'm going to talk to you about content later in this deck, that we remember these elements. And we go, okay, so some of our content needs to be showcasing who we are. One of the most common misconceptions in social media is that all of your page likes, all of your followers see your content all of the time. They don't. We are also being bombarded with content constantly. So as part of your content plan, remember to reintroduce yourselves. Hi, we are the team at X, Y, and Z. This is what we do. Because people forget and you need to remind them. And really what we're doing with our social media is we're courting someone, we're dating them. We're letting them know what we can do for them, what value we can bring. We're letting them know how much better their life is going to be with us in it. And we're nurturing those relationships until they're ready to commit, until they're ready to be Facebook official with you. So the other reason we use social media from a business point of view and a marketing point of view is it is a constant and automatic feedback loop. Gone are the days where we used to run press and hope and pray and wait and look for responses. Now we publish a piece of content, we can see straight away if it's got the results we want, if it's giving us the value it needs to bring us as businesses, and how our audience is responding. I train so many people and I say to them, when's the last time you asked your customer something on social? You know, just ask them a really simple question. They go, we can't do that. We can't talk to our audience. Spoiler alert. If they follow you on social, it's because they care about you. They have some form of invested interest. Your customers also care about you. So by building a strong social presence, you can start to really understand that customer relationship and see what people really think about you, because public opinion is important for getting a transactional action. So basically, social media is a key part of your sales journey and marketing mix, but it's not your only part, and it's not a magic wand. For some people, and some people on this call, it could be vital. It could be your most important tool and asset. But for others on this call, it might be less so. And hopefully by the end of this session, you'll be able to understand how important it is for you, which elements are important for you, and how to utilize it. So the last bit I want to talk to you about in our kind of why we use social is the difference between organic and paid. And this is something that gets really muddied in the water. And these are the two different sides to your social media. So your organic social is creating accounts, so Facebook pages, Facebook groups, Instagram accounts, and it's using them as the platform wants us to. So it's regularly posting, it's showing up, it's engaging. I'm going to teach you some tricks on how to really make your organic work for you throughout this deck. But what we need to be aware of is organic social media has a very long-term return on investment. You are not going to create a Facebook page and get transactional action straight away. It takes time, because what you are doing is building relationships, and relationships take time. Growth across organic social at the moment is painful, and it's painful across every sector, but it's really worth it, because what that does is it helps you to create a very loyal, a very engaged audience who become your brand ambassadors. And if they are your brand ambassadors on social, that means they are liking, they are commenting, they are sharing your content. And the beauty of sharing content means they will share it out along the commonality of friendship tracks, which means they're likely to find someone else who may need your service or may be interested in joining your team. As I've already said, your organic social supports all of your marketing efforts. And the big thing is it's free. There is absolutely no charge for using organic social. It is free across all networks. But there is a large time investment. It does take time. In comparison, we have our paid social. So this is where you actively pay the networks to get your content in front of the right people and the right audiences, whether it be for recruitment or service users. I'm going to teach you how to do a Facebook ad the correct way at the end of this deck. So if you are interested in paid social, please hang around. Paid social gives you a very quick return on investment. It gets people to your website quickly. It gets people to contact you quickly. It's a great way of finding that pinpoint audience, but they're very fickle. After you turn your advertising off, you may find your sales and your engagement completely fall off. So that's why it's so important to keep your organic running. Paid social on Facebook can be very low budget, can start anywhere from between £10 and £25 a week, and you can see a really high return on investment for it. But it isn't magic. You're not going to turn on an ad and suddenly become millionaires or suddenly get loads of people inquire. You still need a sales funnel, and really, more importantly, you need to have strong organic. So what you can do is bring in your new audiences with your paid advertising, but keep them engaged with your organic content, because they might not need you yet. They might not be ready to accept that they need some help yet. They might not be ready to change career yet, but they're thinking about it. So keep them interested, keep dating them, keep courting them with your organic content. What this does is help you maintain your brand loyalty, so your people keep sticking around and coming back for more. It then increases your return on investment and keeps more people in the sales funnel. And that's what we are thinking about. Even if we are in organic and we're just spending lots of time, we need a return on investment. So where does this all begin? Well, actually, it all starts with your customer. You need to understand the person you are selling to paramountly, more than anything else. Spoiler alert, Everyone is not your customer. You do not sell oxygen. What we need to do is really understand who you are selling to, who you're communicating with. And this could be our recruitment audience, this could be our service user audience. So think about building customer profiles and think about their age and their gender. Think about their income, their disposable income. For us on this call, the really important things are these bottom questions. So the reason why do they need us? What problem are you solving? Why are they using social media? Because this question helps us pick the platforms we are going to use. And for us, the DMU, who is making the decision? Is it the service user? Is it someone else? Because if it isn't the service user, your content needs to speak to both the user and the person who is making the decision, the DMU. If you are looking at this from a recruitment point of view, still think about this and answer these questions. Because for us as recruiters, we are potentially looking at things like social status, lifestyle choices, because there will be reasons why people go for these careers. And you really need to look at the tricky question of what are you really selling? Are you selling a solution to a problem? Are you selling independence? Are you selling a feeling or an experience? Are you selling security? Are you selling a fulfilling career? These questions and this early bit of work is so important, because if you don't do it, content creation is difficult. Content creation can be anything in the world. Whereas if you understand the answers to these questions, and if you understand who you are speaking to, all of a sudden content creation becomes easier. Because if you're selling independence, you know that your content needs to nod and comment and talk about the independent feeling you are giving people. If you are giving someone a fulfilling career, your content needs to focus around that. These become your content pillars and they are important. The other reason why this squirrely piece of work is so important is you don't need to be on every social media network. You need to be where your customers are, where that audience is. You are better off doing one platform exceptionally well than phoning in 3. Focus your efforts. And when you understand who that audience is, you know where to find them. So now we've done the difficult, squirrely work, I'm going to talk about a few of the platforms that I think your audience will be hanging out on. And that means we are going to start with Facebook. And one of the biggest mistakes that everybody makes with social media marketing is they go, oh, we're going to use Facebook. But they don't understand the reasons why people use the platform. And people use Facebook as a place for their daily connection. Facebook has the widest age range of any of the networks. It's a big platform and we see people onboarding at all ages, normally at key moments of their life. This could be when they leave school, when they start college, when their children have children, when they go traveling and want to maintain connections. It is still the world's biggest social media network. Now, there's going to be arguments between Facebook and TikTok soon, but Facebook is still the driving force. And what we need to be aware of, Facebook owns so much. So Facebook, under the guise of Meta, owns Facebook, Instagram, Marketplace, Messenger, WhatsApp, Audience Network. It is a big beast and it has got so many tools for us as business owners. So how does Facebook work for businesses? So this means, how does it work once you have a Facebook page? So this is the official guidance. This is the official algorithm. So how is content shared across Facebook? So the first thing it's done is it works on inventory. I personally think that's a stupid name because inventory means the type of content. So Facebook ranks the type of content and it ranks it in an order. So it doesn't really like text only. Then it dislikes off Facebook links because that sends people away from Facebook and it wants to keep people in the platform. It then likes single image, multiple image, so you can scroll through because it counts as engagement. Video, and video is the best kind of content you can share at the moment. It then looks for signals. So it looks at who posted the content. So that means it looks at how often you show up and how high a quality your content is. It then looks at predictions. So how likely is your audience to engage with this post? And engagement is also ranked. So it's ranked as reading as 1 point, a click as 2 point, and engagement. So that's when someone likes, loves, angry faces it as 3, a comment as 4, and a share as 5. So all of this pulls together and helps create a content score. So that means the quicker people engage with your content, so reading, liking, commenting, engaging, the further your content will go because it deems it more newsworthy. And then why is content deranked in Facebook? So content will be deranked if you use clickbait. So this is if you say to someone, we've got great pictures of Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. Random thing off the top of my head, but then they go to the website and it's not there and they bounce back. Facebook deranks it even more if someone goes to a website and bounces straight off, so spends less than 5 seconds there. And Facebook also deranks engagement baiting. So that is when you say on your content, please like, tag, comment, and share. We know that people use those algorithms and those trick words to try to beat the algorithm because everyone wants that high content share score and they want those reactions. If you have a piece of content and you need someone to comment on it, if you are actively looking to grow that audience, instead of saying like, tag, comment, and share, use terminology like, let someone know this is a great opportunity for them below. Invite who is coming to our event with you below. Use terminology that the audience understands you want them to comment, but the algorithm doesn't pick it up. So from a business point of view, we have so many tools. And the great thing with tools for Facebook business is they are all free to use, apart from ads, but that falls into paid social. So we've got pages, stories, messenger, marketplace, shops, reels, events, reviews, check-ins, charity donations, and groups. We can also connect Facebook to WhatsApp if that is the way that you want people to contact you. The most important one for people on this call and your starting place is your Facebook page. Hopefully everyone has a Facebook page. If anyone hasn't, let me know and I will, in the deck that I share around, I'll slide in the few, which is just how to create a Facebook page. So assuming you've already got your page, what you need to do is look at the kind of content that you share. The big thing to remember with your Facebook page content is you are looking for quality over quantity content. You are not looking to post all the time. You can post 1 to 3 times a week, as long as you are sharing content that is a quality that engages with your audience. So instead of just posting random things, understand the people you are talking to and share content that will speak to them. The great things with Facebook pages is you can invite your friends, your family, and your existing customers. And one of the easiest way to grow your Facebook following is to make sure your Facebook link is on your email footer and on your website. It sounds really, really simple, but you wouldn't believe how many people forget about it. And we encourage even big national brands to include periodic "do you follow us on Facebook" in their email footers and their email campaigns, and the like count and followers always go up. Remember to share content that reflects what you're really selling and the value you are really bringing. And look for content that helps build a connection to an audience. So remember, on Facebook, people think you are having a one-to-one conversation with them. We can no longer remember where conversations take place. We just know that we've had them. So any content you are sharing on your Facebook page, you are trying to build that connection because you are talking to your audience while they are commuting, while they're on the bus, while they're at home. Let's face it, you're talking to them when they're on the toilet. So make sure you are speaking to them and going, I, you, we, and we are having those one-to-one conversations. Remember to talk to your customers and never be afraid to ask them for reviews to help build trust. So the next part of Facebook I want to talk to you about in detail is Facebook groups. Facebook groups are really underutilized tools, and they are a place where you can build a connection with people. So they bring people together with a common interest. So once you have a Facebook page, you can create your own group. So if you want to create a protected audience, if you want to put all of your team members in it, if you want to grow a loyal audience and connection, a Facebook group is a great place to do it. Another great thing with Facebook groups is they allow you to reach niche audiences for free, and those audiences are normally protected from advertising. So if you find a local group and you need to bring more service users in, or you are recruiting and you have a local buy and sell group, it's completely okay to share your group content or your Facebook page content into that group. It's a great way to reach those local communities. If you are going to create your own group, think about, where am I going to add the value, or where am I going to bring connection? If you don't want to build a connection, if you don't want to add value to an audience, don't create your own group. Instead, join other local buy and sell groups and share your content into them. If you think you can add value, build a connection, or both, these are the kind of groups you might want to be thinking about. So you might want to either create a local community group, or as your page identity, join a local community group. This goes for interest, support groups, family groups, and value-adding groups where you share advice. So if anybody specialises in something like dementia, you can easily create a dementia care group in your local area, position yourself as an authority, and push yourself forward that way. It's about building that brand authority, affecting your and controlling your public opinion, and bringing people into your journey. There's also lots of Facebook groups for clubs and organisations, so don't be afraid to act as your business page, join them and take part. Another great tool for a Facebook group is actually team members. So if you are looking to build a real sense of community with all of your team members, which I know can be tricky in your sector, think about a Facebook group, because it's a great way to keep that communication and that flow going in a lovely, natural way. With Facebook groups, if you're going to create them all, remember to create them from your page identity. That means anyone that has admin access or creator control from your Facebook page can go in and act as the group. That protects the individual, and it means your group is owned by you as a business authority. If you are going to join other Facebook groups, don't just join them and listen. Be social, engage with them, join in conversations, like, comment, engage with your audience. That connection and community element is really paramount importance. And you can find potential groups to join via the search feature. But it's so important to understand your customer, understand your audience, and try to pick the groups where they are spending time. Otherwise, you fall into the trap of, we're spending loads of time on Facebook, but we aren't in the right place. We aren't engaging with the right people. If you are going to create your own Facebook group, your Facebook group content should be similar to the content shared on your page, but it does vary depending on what that group can be. If you're in a local buy and sell group, it's okay to share the more sales-based content. This is where you are looking to bring in more service users, or you are looking to recruit. It's your really obvious, clear calls to action. We are recruiting. We have space. We can help with. Just make sure you post them on your Facebook page first and share them across. If you are building or creating a community or interest-based group with all of your content, think, how am I adding value and how am I strengthening this relationship? And this can be as simple as starting conversations. Hi everyone, how are you feeling today? It can be as simple as sharing really simple how-tos, because everybody on this call has knowledge that your audience does not. Tip of the day, photo of the day. Here's a lovely photo from one of our team who took it this morning out. Groups aren't always a place to sell, they are a place to engage with your customers. And group content can be anything you want it to be, as long as you've done that initial piece of work about understanding your customer, what they want and what you're really selling. So if you go, do you know what, Catherine, I'm still really struggling with the type of content. A genuine great resource for figuring out what your Facebook group content would be is asking ChatGPT. Genuinely, it's really good as a base tool to give you ideas and inspiration to get you on your way. But hopefully, I'm going to have some tools for you later as well in the content section. So the last part of Facebook I want to talk to you about just quickly is Facebook events. Because Facebook events are a great way to reach a wider audience. So these can be people that don't follow you, so aren't your usual pay likes. The Facebook tool and the Facebook Events Near Me tool shows users algorithmically controlled events that it thinks they will be interested in. So if you publish an event and people start to engage with it, Facebook will send notifications which are like, hello, so-and-so has created an event we think you might be interested in. Four of your friends have shown interest in your event. Using events is a great way to increase your brand reach for free and trigger FOMO, so the fear of missing out, which is really important in the world of social media. I'm going to talk to you about that slightly later. But from the idea and point of view of people on this call, think about these for recruitment, service user open days. If you are running these types of events, create a Facebook event because they will appear in local search just like this. And this is all algorithmically controlled. So what it does is it shows me the events that I might be interested in. So if I'm job hunting, because Facebook will know if I'm job hunting, Facebook knows so much about you, it's a little bit scary. These would be replaced with recruitment open day. If I'm looking for a service, it will appear here. So don't be afraid to really utilize these tools that Facebook gives us. So now I am going to talk to you briefly about Instagram. So as with Facebook, Instagram is not a silver bullet. And at the moment, we are seeing so many people double down on Instagram. But I've got to be honest, it isn't the place for every business. And like with Facebook, we need to look and understand why people go to it. So with Facebook, people go there for their daily connection. People go to Instagram for their daily inspiration. It's where people are living their Insta lives. It's where their super ego takes hold. So is there a place on Instagram for your customers, for your audiences on this call? Whereas with Facebook, I can safely say your audience is there, and that is a really strong investment of time. Instagram is going to be much trickier for everyone on this call. And it will depend so much on if your audience is within these boxes. So Instagram is the third most popular social media network, but 70% of users are under the age of 35. People do use it as a search engine, but not as much as they do Facebook and the other networks. 50% of users will take action after seeing business content. However, it is very aspirational content. It is very e-commerce based, it's travel based. It is a very skewed sector. Now, there are people coming up on Instagram who talk about things like health, chronic illness, age, but the problem is people aren't strictly going to this platform for these reasons. It's why it's so important to understand that customer profile. So if you think and if you are sure that your audience is on Instagram, we're going to have a look at it. So how does the Instagram algorithm work? Well, interestingly, It's very, very similar to Facebook. It's actually the same algorithm. So it's the type of content you share, it's the signals, it's how quickly people engage with it. You will notice there's no element for deranking on Instagram, and you can actually use engagement baiting. So you can ask people to share into stories, and you can ask people to save content for later without being penalized. So that's quite nice. Within Instagram, there are several different places to think about. And our Instagram feed is the initial most important place. And your Instagram feed is designed to be the best of Instagram since you last opened the app. So it is a place for beautiful images. It's controlled by the machine learning algorithm. The problem with getting your content into Instagram feed is it does favor consistent engagement and content. So you are looking to post between 5 and 7 times a week. It's an awful lot of content. Me as a professional social media manager really struggles with that level of content. It's hard. Hashtags are really important, and you should use 30 on every post, and your hashtag should reflect in thirds the business. So that's what you want to be known for, what you want to be found for. The post, so the story you are telling at that moment in time, and they can be niche or vanity. So these are really specific hashtags that relate specifically to your audiences. If you are going to use Instagram, these are the most important things to remember about your Instagram feed content at the moment. A balance is really important. So this is where you use a balance of single images, carousels, and videos. Carousels are really important at the moment because you can use up to 20, but each individual image has its own chance of optimizing space in news feed. So you're getting 20 different chances. So I might engage with image 1, David might engage with image 4, Owen might engage with image 9. And what it does is that means each individual will see a different image first of all. Collaboration posts are big at the moment, but may not strictly work for your sector. If you say, well, actually, Catherine, I know someone who is working in this sector, or who is a service giver, who is an influencer in their sphere, or they've got a following because they talk about it. And these niches do exist. I myself am an autoimmune influencer. It's a phrase I coined myself. I talk about my rare autoimmune disease on TikTok. So you will be surprised that actually some service users may have really strong presences across any social network. Within your Instagram feed content, you should always be thinking of inspiration. So everyone is on there living their Insta lives. I call mine my unicorn life because my real life is not that shiny. Your content should be different across your feed, your stories, and your reels, but you can share your feed content into your Instagram stories. So your Instagram stories are little stories that sit along the top of Instagram and in your profile icon when people visit your profile. And they are a great place for behind the scenes content. They stay for 24 hours and they display in the order of which they're created. They can be saved as highlights, but the big things we care about is the added features for engagement. So these are things like polls, Q&As, and music. They're a great way to break down barriers and let people see the real people behind the business. So they're also great for getting customer buy-in, so getting people to know and trust you. The final part of Instagram we need to think about is Instagram Reels. And Instagram Reels are really important for new content discovery. So whereas your Instagram feed goes to your existing audiences, Instagram Reels go out to new audiences, and they are video content. I'm going to talk to you more about the video content shortly. But with your Instagram Reels, think about music and trends. If you are going to embrace Instagram Reels, you need to embrace it fully. But I just really want to stress it is impossible to use all social media channels brilliantly. It's a waste of time, it's a waste of money, and it's a waste of your valuable resources. It's also really, really stressful. The key to really good social media management is actually to select the best network for your customers and your social media goals. Then create audience and platform specific content. So you are having this one-to-one personal conversation with a large audience. So now we're ready to go. Now we're ready to think about it. Before we jump into content, I just want to emphasize it's so important to start the right way across social. So this means please make sure you have business accounts. So you've set up your Facebook page, and if you are going to use Instagram, you are set up as an Instagram business profile, and those accounts are connected together. Please make sure you have your two-factor authorization on. If you do nothing else from this entire event, please switch on your two-factor, both personally and from any business accounts. It is so important. Then do a little bit of spring cleaning. So check the links to your website work or wherever you want people to take action. So if you want people to message you or you're using WhatsApp for Business, make sure those links are correct. Make sure your correct business name or organization name is shown within your username. And then you have similar @handles. So for example, my username on all social media is Catherine George. My @handle is @OhSoCatherine. So that means you can go to Instagram.com/OhSoCatherine, Facebook.com/OhSoCatherine, and it brings it together that way. Make sure these are the same with the same profile picture and cover photo across all networks, because people are so easily confused and we want them to know and understand who we are quickly and easily. Please make sure if you are on Facebook, you have a correct Facebook Business Manager set up. And if you are going to be running any advertising, please make sure you've got a Facebook pixel and, if possible, a CAPI connection to your website, because that will really increase your results and increase this return on investment that we are all looking for. So now let's talk about content. So all of this work we've been doing has just got us to this point. And the thing I have to make really clear is content on social is different to traditional marketing, because social media is a constant communication. So what you need to do is make sure your content is balanced and make sure you are answering all of those questions your customers have, those niggling little ones in the back of their mind that they may never voice, but they've got. You're making sure you're speaking to them and liaising with them with everything they may need to know. So now we know we've got to show up and show up often, because it is this constant communication. What do you actually post about? What do you actually talk about in the realms of social media? Well, every business should have its own themes or content pillars. So I'm not quite sure why we all started calling them content pillars a couple of years ago. I genuinely think it's so marketing agencies can charge you more money. So when someone says to you, what's your content pillars? All they mean is a theme. They want to know what you're talking about. And these come into these general, very vague rules. So your content pillars are your USP. What makes you different? And with your unique selling point, so many people say it's something like, oh, it's customer service, or it's the thing we do, or it's the way we do it. That's not really your unique selling point. Your unique selling point is normally your story, your individual stories, the people behind the businesses. Wherever possible, we need to talk about benefits over features. So this means we are talking about the actual value that we bring. So if we described it as a feature, it would be, we will take someone shopping. The real benefit of that is we are helping someone feel independent for longer. We are helping someone live their best life. For you guys on this call, your benefits are so important and so emotive. It's fundamental to really think about it. Some of your content pillars can be value adding. So this is where you share little snippets of advice and guidance. You could decide that showcasing is a content pillar for you. So this is where you actively showcase your skills, your facilities. It could be your location. So I'm really lucky. I'm coming to you today from actually a lovely and sunny Cornwall. Cold, but it's nice. So the fact of where we are is a big content pillar for us as an agency. However, does your location allow to that? Does your office, does what you do out and about? Of course, your all important products and services and what you are really selling. So spend some time pulling these apart and really thinking about them, because your content pillars should showcase what makes your business different. And when you are doing this, your content planning, you can include your owned content. So this means anything that you've created yourself. Can be anything from a picture to a blog article. It can include third-party content. So this can be really important for you guys in this sector. So say you are a specialist in one type of care, one type of service, and someone has written a report on it. You may want to share and comment on it. And if possible, and I know this is a big if for your sector, but if you can get user-generated content, so UGC, it always works really well. And that just means content that someone else has created for you. It's actually one of the fundamental reasons why groups can be so important, because it's a great place to activate, collect your user-generated content before sharing it onto your Facebook page. Always remember the content you're creating should reflect the platform and the audience. So if you do decide to use Facebook and Instagram, for example, your content on Facebook would focus much more on building a connection. Sorry, excuse me, I thought I was going to sneeze then. A much stronger connection, and we know we are speaking to a generally slightly older audience who are more engaged. Whereas on Instagram, we know it would have to be inspiring content, normally speaking to a younger audience. When you are writing your content, think about the rule of thirds. So a third of your content should be sales or goal focused. So if you say to me today, do you know what, Catherine, we need more service users, a third of your content should reflect that and actively speak to those. A third should be about building your brand authority. And a third should be about your shareable, engaging content. And this can be as simple as a great view. This can be as simple as sharing a member of the team. And for your sector, sharing those team photos will be really important. And if your content is done correctly, it will achieve all three of these things. Because social media has to be social. It's not all about sales. It's about building relationships, and relationships take time. And we really need to remember that. So how do we create thumb-stopping content? Now we kind of know what we're going to be talking about. How do we actually get around to it, and how do we actually create it? So the first thing to talk about is tell your own story. Tell people what you do, how you do it, the people behind you, why they do it. Tell the story, because this is the only thing that makes you truly unique. It's the only thing that sets you apart from your audience, from your competitors. And it's the thing that people buy into, because people buy from people. The next thing we are going to do is think mobile first. So all content across every social network should be vertical. So it should be portrait, and we all call it mobile first. This means when you are taking content on your phone, please don't turn it landscape. Please just hold it up the way it is, the way you normally look at it and play with it. Make all of your content mobile first. The last platform that wasn't mobile first was Instagram, and that is now updating. So please, please, please make all of your content mobile first. Always write your content with a single message. So this is still one of my favourite examples because it's nice and clear. Dogs love Cornwall. We have holiday accommodation that's dog friendly. Nice and simple. So many people write social content. It goes, and we do this, and we do this, and we do this, and it's too much information. Hello, we are service name. We provide this service. Post in 3 days' time. What does this service actually mean? One key feature, one key benefit, and explain the feature that makes it happen. We can take your loved one shopping. We provide round the clock care. This is what it looks like. It's simple, it's short, it's succinct, but this also helps but prevent you getting content fatigue, because all of a sudden you're not writing one long post, you are writing 5 short ones. When on social media, our reading age reverts back to 12-year-olds, and we have a 1.3 second attention span. So make your content short. Include a mix of obvious sales and subtle sales. So great example on the left, do you need biscuits? We can sort that. Subtle sales is more on the right. Best things about Mondays, hey, there's biscuits. For you guys, these will vary between, are you looking for a new career? Sign up to our recruitment day. 2, today our team have helped fulfill this. Julie from our team works around her children and her life. One is a really clear call to action, and the other one is reminding people how great you are. Obvious sales, we have room available with our care company. Subtle sales, today we have helped Agatha get out of the house for the first time. Subtle and obvious sales, but both do the same job. So look behind the scenes and break down barriers. And this is where you can create really fun and engaging content. It's where you can break down those barriers where you need to be, in normal sense, a little bit more professional. Use your team, share pictures of what you're up to and what you guys are doing. And this is where you can also do some really clear kind of engagement. So this is a great post. It's me holding a sausage roll at a photo shoot. And this was one of our most successful posts to date. One of our other most successful posts today was a poll going, should we get an office fish tank? Content behind the scenes really doesn't have to be hard. And what's interesting is people inquired from this post, and people come into our office to this day and ask where our fish tank is. It's about people feeling like they are part of your team and that you are there for them. So when you are designing your content, always design for mobile first with sound off. If you are going to be doing Instagram Reels, this is where you would switch your sound on. It's the same for TikTok. But optimizing for this mobile first is really important because it fills your whole mobile screen. So while people are scrolling, it maximizes the opportunity for them to see your content. So the next hack is actually dated back to evolutionary psychology. So did you know if you see a picture of food or a picture of a nice cake, for example, we use those scones. So if you're looking at those scones now and go, do you know what? Really fancy a scone, but I know I shouldn't have it. Did you know the second you get that response in your mind of going, oh, I really fancy that, your body starts to produce the chemicals to digest the cake. So basically, anytime you see a cake and you fancy eating it, your body thinks you're going to eat it anyway. So just enjoy the cake. But from our point of view as social media is people remember food. We are programmed to remember any form of food. We're programmed to look at it for longer. So for you guys, this can be a really simple way just to maximize space in newsfeed. Food, drink, cups of tea, cups of coffee. It's simple content, but it helps people engage with you on a psychological level. The next area we look for is faces. So we are all programmed to try to make eye contact with each other. It's why I actually find virtual training calls so hard, because I'm constantly trying to make eye contact and I just end up looking at myself. So next time you're on a Zoom call and you're looking at yourself, that's because you get a dopamine hit from making eye contact, even if it is with yourself. So with all of our content, we need to try to get faces in, and wherever possible, make those faces really clear to camera. We are seeing a really big trend across social, which is just being authentic and lo-fi. We're calling it the FaceTime trend, which is where you create content as if you are speaking to an individual on FaceTime. You're simply holding up the phone and talking. It's simple, it's quick, but it works so well. Because what we are looking for is connection. Everyone wants to feel connected. So this means your content can be authentic and lo-fi. If we were having this conversation 4 or 5 years ago, I'd be encouraging you all to invest in pro photography. You don't need to do that anymore. Social doesn't need it. You just need a phone. People want to see real content. So make sure you are sharing content that reflects real life. And that's real life of your service users, the decision-making units, and that your staff can expect. You're using content in your sector to build trust, break down barriers, and help people feel cared for. So use this connection, use real content of a real day. And then we're going to look for fears. I didn't update the images on this slide because it felt a bit weird for me. And these are good examples actually of content that triggers fears. One is from the WWF, and that video goes on to say that tigers might be extinct in the next few years. The other one is Virgin Media. It goes, the clock hits 5 o'clock on the Friday and the Wi-Fi goes down. These are fears that their audience have. So what you are looking to do is trigger this within your customers. So once upon a time, we were all scared of lions and tigers and bears. But now what your audience might be scared of is my loved one going to be looked after? Can I trust this organization? Are they going to support me? Is this really going to be the best job for me? These are the fears your audience have. So think about how you can create content in a really simple, lo-fi, authentic way, probably with video content, which eases these pain points. How can you make someone worry less? It's fundamental that you are sharing relatable, real content. So take pictures and take them across the whole range of what your business is doing. Use an iPhone, just make it real. Don't be afraid to create engaging interactive content. And this might be a really strong tool for this sector because it can help break down those barriers. So if you're looking for recruitment, go, hey guys, we're going to do a live with one of our staff where you can ask them questions. Get existing team members to prep questions in, but that content will then save and it will help break down a barrier. Hey guys, we're going to do a live tour of our event. Hey guys, we are going to show you what's going on at Bingo today. Where you can, and I know you guys are tight with policy and restrictions, but don't be afraid to really embrace this interactive, engaging content. Do polls, ask people questions, get people to send in their thoughts and fears. And then the final great content pillar for you guys is build trust. So this means share reviews and social proof. So if you have got your reviews set up on your Facebook page, that's excellent. But don't be afraid to just let them, sit there, but use them. Make those reviews work hard for you. So create a template like this. It's clear, it's crisp, it's simple. You can use your Facebook reviews and your Google reviews without permission because they are public. They've been shared in the public sphere. If someone sends you a lovely email or a lovely piece of feedback, you would need to ask permission before you can share it. But create yourself a bank of content like this because it will save you so much time for later. How do you create something like this? Canva is your best friend. I can't design for toffee. My team laugh at me because I'm that bad at design work. I do everything in Canva. This whole deck was built in Canva. All of my social content is done in Canva. It's free, it's easy, and it will save you hours of time. So if you want to create templates like this, And these are all really great, lovely templates. And now I've pointed out to you what we look for with our content. Hopefully you'll start to recognize it. The staff are friendly and helpful, looking for a career with purpose. My mum said the staff were wonderful, kind, caring, positive. These examples all nod back to what I've told you about. So how do you create templates like this? Sign up to a free Canva account, select social media and Instagram. So select Instagram 4 to 5 because that's now the ratio we want across every network. And then simply scroll through the templates and find one that you like. There are thousands of them. Then you can easily change the fonts, the text, the color, the images. So once you've done the initial groundwork to create the template, it will be there forever and ever. But Canva is also a great way to create really simple video content. So if you need to go in and turn images into video, it's a great way to do it. But social content is so easy to create. Social content is short, it's only 15 seconds. So don't be afraid to just pick up your phone and a really simple face to camera. Or one of my favorites, just take your phone for a walk. It's that simple. Don't overthink your video content. You can always find stock videos, so like I've done here, or if you need to turn your images into videos, go to Canva, select mobile video, and all of these templates will pop up. You can slide in your own videos or slide in your own images to create a video. It's really quick, it's really simple, and video has preferred space in Newsfeed, so it is important that we use it. What if you don't have any photos? There's a great range of free, royalty-free, commercially allowable images across the web. Canva is a great resource and has them built in. Every image you've seen in the deck, unless it's an obvious screenshot, is a Canva commercial free image. Unsplash is actually my favorite resource. It's got thousands of free, really high quality images. And if you wanted to go a step further and buy a license, it's only £100 for a year. So a fraction of the price to Shutterstock. Pixabay is great. And then, of course, you have your user-generated content. So ask to share content that's been created by your service users or your staff. And just remember, get into the habit of take photos. Your mobile phone camera is great. Just use it. So how can you grow your audience for free? This is really simple on social. You just need to show up and show up regularly. So this means if you are going to use Instagram, go for at least 3 times a week, but really it should be 5 to 7. If you're going to use Instagram stories, you need to use them as often as possible. Instagram Reels go for once a month. If you are using Facebook once a week as a bare minimum, I always feel like between 1 and 3 is the sweet spot. If you want to grow a national following, you're probably going to want more, but you don't need to post any more than 3 times a week, realistically, until you have page likes over 5,000. And if anyone is using LinkedIn, I just wanted to add this bit of information for you. LinkedIn, post from your profile about 3 times a week for really good growth. So how can I save time with my content and all of this? The first one is turn content creation into a habit. So set aside time in your diary, in your calendar to actually do it, and get into the habit of taking pictures with your phone. Then what you can do is sit down, plan ahead, and schedule your content for up to months in advance. So turn it into this habit and it becomes easier. If you want to schedule your content, there are loads of options. So Meta Business Suite is great, it's free, and it works across Facebook and Instagram. You've also got Later, Buffer, Sendable, and Agora Pulse that all have free versions. Later and Buffer have the most free options. So find one which looks and works best for you. Scheduling software also normally includes some free reporting. So that saves you time when you want to look at your results. So you are aware, if anyone is using X, the platform formerly known as Twitter, it's becoming really difficult to find scheduling software because Twitter is introducing so many paywalls. So now we've done organic. I hope everyone's still with me because this has been quite intense. I'm going to talk to you super quickly about ads and then I'll answer some questions. So the big thing about social ads to remember is social ads aren't magic. They aren't going to turn on and suddenly solve all of your problems, but they are really powerful. But the same rules apply as organic. You have to understand your customer, you have to focus your efforts, and you have to talk about what you are really selling with really clear calls to action. If you are going to do advertising, please start small and scale. Don't start on £1,000 a month. Don't start on £500 a month. Start on £25 a week. Learn what works for you. Figure out what's going to bring in your results, and then increase your budget accordingly if you need to. When you are doing advertising for small areas, you don't always need to use massive budgets. Sometimes small budgets will work just as fine. So never be afraid of using those smaller budgets. So if you are going to do advertising, I would start with Facebook and just ask yourself these questions. So where does this transaction take place? Where do they buy? Are they going to send you a message? Are they going to go to your website? How much budget do you actually have? Do we have £100 that we can test this? And what result do we need from it? How are we going to measure our success? These are really important questions because so many people do these adverts with no idea what success looks like, so then they can't know if they've been successful or not. So for everyone on this call, it's going to be really important that you go to Facebook Ads Manager to do your advertising because you fall into the realms of policy. I'm going to start with recruitment ads because I felt these might be more important, but if I'm wrong, I do apologise. So go to your Facebook Ads Manager, and step one is understanding what you are going to run your advert for. If you want to get people to the website, or even if you want people to message you, select traffic campaign. Then switch to manual traffic campaign. And remember, I'll get you these slides so you'll be able to follow this through. Select manual traffic campaign, then name your campaign. I know this sounds really, really simple, but otherwise you just end up with an ad account named awareness or traffic campaign. Gets really difficult to understand. The next and most important step for advertising is selecting the special ad category below. If you are advertising for employment, please make sure you tick the employment box. If you do not, your advert will be rejected and you'll get a mark against you. So make sure you select employment. This is why you have to come into Facebook Ads Manager to do this, not from a boosted post on your page. We then hit next and name your ad set. Again, just for easy reporting. We're then moving down this step process, and this is where we pick our goal. If we want people to go to the website, you select website. If you want people to message you, so contact you via Messenger or WhatsApp, you select Messenger app from here. I would always advise against doing phone calls because we find people just don't pick up the phone anymore. Select your performance goals. So this will either be link clicks or number of messages, depending on what your goal is. Then select your budget and schedule. So by default, Facebook's budget is £20 a day or a lifetime budget of £350. You don't need budgets that high. Understand what you want to spend and make sure you put an end date to your campaign. If you switch between a daily and lifetime budget, this does reset. So always double check these figures because it's where Facebook is a bit naughty. Make sure you've got a start, end date, and the budget is what you want it to be. Then if you are recruitment advertising, it only allows for location targeting. So go into edit in this location box and put in the radius you feel people will travel for. Then when you are selecting placements, always go for automatic. So this is now called Advantage Plus, but this means your advert will optimize to where your audience is online and where they are likely to take action first. We then go next, and this is where the final step happens. So we create our ad. So we follow the same process. We name the advert at the very top of the post of the campaign. Now, if you want to boost an organic post, so you've posted about your recruitment on your Facebook page, this is where you grab this post from. So this is an example from the Newlands School of Art. So we make sure it's the correct Facebook page at the top. We literally select use existing post, select post, and it is that easy. What that does is pulls it through to Ads Manager for you, and you then can go live by adding a call to action across the bottom. If you want to create your own advert, it's a slightly longer process. So again, you name your advert along the top of the page, you select the ad format, so whether it's a single image or video, then carousel. Then you select the next step down where you set up your creative. I apologise because Facebook has made this interface less user-friendly in the last few weeks. So now it's a step-by-step process. You add your primary text at the top, then your headline, then your call to action. Don't worry too much about descriptions because they don't really show anymore. Your headline is more important. That's the big block bit of text that sits below the image and does a lot of the hard work. You then can select your image, so you can either upload this from your computer or laptop, or you can select anything from your Facebook or Instagram account. Once it's uploaded, you can see and edit anything that you want here. You can play around with these features and then again, just go live. So if you want to run a traffic advert, so more of a sales advert looking for more service users, we follow the exact same steps. In this case, again, you're either going to want people to visit the website or send you messages. So it's the exact same process. Traffic campaign, manual setup, name your advert. But this time, that's all you need to do on this top layer. Name your campaign. We then go through to the next step where again, we name our ad sets and we select our conversion objective. For most people who are looking for new service users, I would really highly recommend website traffic because as well, people will learn more about your full offering there. Whereas messages, sometimes some of that transactional element gets lost. If you have a Facebook pixel, you can change the optimization for link clicks to landing page views, which shows a higher level of intent, but please don't worry about it if you don't have that. We then go through our budget and schedule like we did last time. So you'll notice the only big change from this comes from our targeting. So who we can target with our paid social. And this is where our original customer profile, all that awkward, uncomfortable work I keep talking to you about is really, really important. So under budget and schedule, we are going to switch back to our original audience options. Now, Facebook will put a big block up going, stick with Advantage Plus. We don't want it in every case. So ignore that and go to the next stage. This then opens up all of our targeting and all of our options across Meta. So we work through these steps again. So first of all, we start with our location. Locations can drill down to 1 kilometre or one specific postcode, or they can go as far as the whole United Kingdom. So think about this. Where will my audience be? Where will my service users be? Or the people making the decision for the service users? You can select the age here, so the age of what you think they're going to be interested in. You can select gender, but the most important one is this detailed targeting. Sorry, excuse me. So I've gone for retirement age, retirement community, because for me as a layman in your sector, they were the easiest ones for me to find. But you would be amazed what you can target people on. So when you understand your audience, come to this box here and start typing in things. You would be shocked at what you'll find. And once you've found one, so I typed in retirement age, I then hit suggestions and I got a full list of other things that Meta knows those people are interested in. So this is really powerful. So make sure you really drill down to that audience or to that decision maker. If you can't find anything here because your area is so sensitive, just take that back. Just go and leave it to the area and the age instead, and Meta will find your audience for you. Again, we're going to select Advantage Plus placements because that brings in the best optimization. And then it's the exact same process again. If you want to boost an existing organic post, you go through these 3 really simple steps. And if you want to create your own, we go through creating your own standalone advert again. So we follow the exact same process. We create our primary text, our headline, our call to action. We upload or add our image.
She went, "Morning, I'm Emma." I went, "Yes, so am I." I've got a face mask on because I got a cough.
Sorry. Hope everything's okay there, Emma. You create your standalone advert in the exact same way. So what do you do now? And I know we've covered so much today, but what you need to do now is be brave and actually do it. And I know it sounds scary, but I promise you it's not. And I'm going to get you this deck for support. So my final words of wisdom are, don't overcomplicate things. I promise you, starting is the hardest part. And remember, it's always a test. You're competing against everything else and everyone else in the world on social. So be brave, try something new, and learn and understand what works for you. So, do we have any questions? I know that was a huge amount to take in. I'm sorry, I think my camera has decided to break halfway through. Let me see if I can bring my camera back. Is my camera back? No, my camera has broken. I apologise. Let's see if we've got any questions.
You do have a few come through. That was really good, Catherine. Really enjoyed it.
Oh, good. I'm so pleased. Thank you.
And thank you for using my example as my Canva thing as a good example. Made me feel better.
It's genuinely really good content. You should be really pleased. Your content's great. Okay. So I will, if I go from the top down, and if anyone's got any questions that I don't get to, slide into my DMs. I'm everywhere at Also Catherine, and I will get back to you. So I'm going to leave that slide up because my camera's not working. So Jenny has asked, how do you best find influencers and get them on board for support? So influencers are really interesting, and actually from our point of view, what we really care about and the people we really want are nano and micro influencers. So we're not talking about people with like 100,000 followers. We're talking about people who've got a few thousand in your local area. There's a few exceptions, you know, I don't know what everyone on this call does. So I follow someone, for example, who has, so I've got Sjogren's syndrome, they've got Sjogren's syndrome. You would outreach to us. We've both got quite a lot of followers, like I think 50, 60,000. If you were a specialist national Sjogren's service, if you are a local service offering, find those people locally. The best way to do it is actually to go through your existing networks first. So go through your existing followers, speak to your existing community. If any of those tick your boxes, it's just great to go, hi guys, how can I help? If none of those tick that, start searching, go through the networks you want to work with. So that'd be Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok. Start searching for people in your area. Go through their feed. If you like them, if you like their content, if you think they'll work with your brand, reach out to them via a direct message and go, hi guys, this is what we do. We wonder if you can support us. The local nano and micro influencers probably won't ask for a great deal in return. They might go, yeah, we'll do that if it's something they care about or if they already are related to you. If you are looking for influencers over 10,000, they might ask for payment. So payment can be quite small. It can start at like £25. So make sure you're picking the right people. So hopefully that answers the question. Okay, so Ralph has asked. Okay, so Ralph, I understand where you're coming from. So Ralph has said, Facebook, I had concern for my colleagues following Mark Zuckerberg's comments about Meta's new hate speech guidelines. Would you have any advice to guide and ease these concerns? That's a really difficult question to answer. And the problem is we are seeing this more across social networks. We are seeing most of it happening across X. And our advice with that has been, if you do not like that network, the policies, what it has turned into, it makes sense to leave. We have done it. Lots of other businesses have done it. It is going to be harder with Facebook because it is a much more integrated network. If you have a genuine concern, what I would do is you as an organisation come up with a stance and you can have a statement. And then if anybody does question it, you can go, we are aware of these comments. We do not agree with them. This is where we feel about them. However, at this moment in time, Facebook is an important tool for us to be able to reach and support our communities. Just because you use these networks, it doesn't mean you have to fully agree with absolutely everything they do and say. Remember, it is a tool at your disposal. And unfortunately, sometimes you have to outweigh concerns of one or two to help you support your community as a whole. So hopefully that helps. But do just be aware that I'm a social media manager, not a dedicated person to the service sector. So you may need to seek advice from other people as well. Okay, so another question from Jenny. Do you have any tips for using LinkedIn? Does it work the same as Facebook and Instagram? And what content would you recommend? So LinkedIn is a paradox. So LinkedIn makes you create company pages. So it makes you create these company pages, but really all of the action, all of the content, all of the traction, the sales, the service users, the recruitment happen from individuals. So if you are going to use LinkedIn, we recommend you update your company page. Do it maybe once or twice a week, but make sure there is an individual or individuals within your organization whose job it is to share that content on and add their own thoughts, theories, and expressions around it. Make those people responsible as well for regularly posting on LinkedIn in their own rights. So let them know what they've been doing, work along the same content rules. Think mobile first, think benefits over features, think building authority and strengthening relationships, think using engaging content. One of the best LinkedIn posts I have ever done was just coming back from COVID going, do you think I should reprint physical business cards? I had over 200,000 reach on it. It was a poll, loads of people voted and loads of people commented below about accessibility and things I'd never thought of. So same rules apply. LinkedIn does have a slightly more professional edge, but a lot of that got broken down during COVID. So you can get away with face to camera, you can get away with photos of the day, you can get away with posting what you are up to as an individual. LinkedIn, if your sector and if your audience takes action on LinkedIn, showing up 3 times a week from a personal account, so a profile, will get you results. I've doubled down on my LinkedIn this year. I'm posting between 3 and once a week, and I have had more inquiries from it. My sector might be a little bit easier to convert from you, but it does really work. Okay, so next question from Michelle. What is the minimum you would suggest spending to get actual results? We're thinking about 1 advert a month to promote our award nominations. Oh, Michelle, that's amazing. So with award nominations, we'd go for £25 a week. What you would need to do is do traffic, get people over to that website, and lean into location targeting. And Michelle, I'm sorry, because I don't know what exact business you do, what you might want to also do is do some retargeting. So I didn't have time to talk you through it today, but you can retarget anyone who's engaged with you across Facebook and Instagram for the last 360 days. I will try to find you a resource that I can share with you on how to do it. So if you create a custom audience of 365 days across Facebook engagement, that would be worth bringing into that audience, as well as the targeting I've shown you. £25 a week, £100 a month is a good starting budget. If you aren't getting actual results from there, consider increasing it, or look at your creative and just make sure your creative is super clear. So with your award nominations, now I actually saw some really good ones while I was researching this. Again, focus on the value. Nominate someone who deserves to be recognised. Nominate a company. Make it really clear that you're focusing on you are letting someone know that it's recognition. And just make it super, super clear in the creative. So hopefully that helps. Brilliant, thank you. It's really handy that you guys are commenting back. I so appreciate that. I don't normally get that. Thank you all. Do we have any other questions? I'm going to assume that's them all done. If anybody thinks of anything later, or you go, oh gosh, I should have asked that, or I've got a question about TikTok, here's my contact information. My email's catherine@ososocialmarketing.co.uk. Just drop me a line.
That's wonderful. Thank you very much. I was going to do a Menti today, but what I'll do is I'll create it as a survey and send that out for you afterwards. So if there is anything that comes up from that, Catherine, I'll send that through to you as well.
Brilliant. Thank you. Sorry, I went over.
No, you're absolutely fine. I'll give it you back as well as forms of feedback as well. So that's perfect. But that's been really useful for all of us, I think. So thank you very much, everyone, for attending. Yeah, that's it. Thank you very much. I hope everyone has a lovely rest of your day.
Thank you.
so
That was
much
really
for having
good.
me. Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Catherine.
everyone.